So here we've got an example of a number to a negative fractional power. Now we follow the same rule as we did for all the other negative indices and fractional powers. So we're going to say 4 to the minus 5 over 2 is the same as 4 to the power of 5 over 2. So we put 1 over the number and we make the power positive. Now we can carry on with the similar steps that we did before when we've got, okay, let's break this up into 4 to the power of a half and then all of that to the power of 5. Because if we multiply the 5 times a half, we get 5 over 2. And then underneath there, we'll say, okay, well that is the same as the square root of 4 and then all of that to the power of 5. And that becomes 1 over 2 to the power of 5, and then 2 to the power of 5, which is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, is 1 over 32. So just to remind you, 2 to the power of 5, little note down here, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 equals 32. It's quite okay in an exam to add a little note there to remind you so that you can write down so that you don't make little numerical errors that's so easy to do in an exam. And there you've got the answer. So we do basically the same method when we've got negative indices as we do when we've got positive ones. There's just that extra step of here. But let's look now at all the connecting ideas that are in this question. First of all, we've got our negative power, our negative index number. So we need to know what to do with that, to put it 1 over and then the number to the positive power. Then it's remembering that anything to the power of a half is a square root, and that in this instance the square root of 4 would be the easiest thing to work out. So we do this method. How do I know to do it this way around and not 4 to the power of 5 square rooted? Well, it's just easier because we're dealing with easier numbers. So why give ourselves a lot of hard work by saying 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 when we can just find the square root and then times that by itself 5 times. But they're things that will come with practice. So don't worry if you think, well, how did I know to do it that way around? So once we've done that, then we can put the 4 into us under a square root sign, and which becomes 2, and then that becomes 5. 2 to the power of 5 is 32. So we've got lots of ideas in there. Negative indices, knowing which way around to do this, how to split up that negative indice, that fractional negative index number. Then square rooting. What does the square root mean? A number times itself is, gives us the square number. 4 is the square number. And then eventually we can work out the value and put it in that particular way. And we'd leave the answer like that if the question said evaluate. Little note to ourselves there just to check that we've got this right.